Welcome back, everyone. This is GTA Failer. In this list, we will do as much as we can in the third and final import-export garage. This particular garage is located over in the third island, on the third island, Shoreside Vale. And we've gotten to the second island by hopping girders a couple of times, and this time we're going to show you how to get there a different way. Variety is the spice of life. So this is the mega jump way, a glitch, not a cheat. I'm standing on this particular corner of this ramp, and I'm aiming my head so it's just below that corner of the pier. And then I'm going to hit spacebar, F3, F1. And if you do all that in the right order, the right timing, then you do this mega jump and hopefully land successfully on this pier. It's quite easy to mess up, at least it is for me, which is why I did my quick save right before I tried it. So again, it's two jumps, spacebar, and right as you're pushing jump the second time, you hit F3 followed by F1. So the second space and F3 are just about simultaneous. And this takes advantage of some kind of glitch involving replays that I don't fully understand. So there's the mega jump. I'm just showing off a heart location here and fast forward. And I'll say that again, I don't understand the mega jump entirely at all, but I die quite often during the mega jump. Sometimes I just lose my health, all of my health, once I land. Sometimes I lose all my health while I'm flying through the air. I don't get it. There's a lot of rules about like how it works and how you're allowed to do it. Okay, so I got a little bit lost here, but here's some landmarks I'm going to try to show off. We're going to do a mega jump from the second island to the third. I'm standing between this set of billboards right next to the stadium, and I'm aiming at this traffic light, looking for the lone tree and walking from that lone tree directly towards this traffic light and then saving because it's dangerous for me. So hop, F3, F1. And you can see it didn't work. I didn't die. I don't know how I messed up the timing. But anyway, looking back at the tree, walking straight in the direction of the light post, trying to time it so my second jump hops me off of this little lip in the grass. And if at first you don't succeed, try again. So space, F3, F1. Okay, that's looking better. I think we lost a couple of points off of our armor, but we're going to demonstrate it one more time before we get down to business for this final import-export garage. Okay, so going from the tree to the lamp, space, F3, F1. Okay, and then we just start running out of this area here and looking for any vehicle on the road so I can drive us to the third import-export garage. And so I'll just take the first vehicle that I see or that I can get my hands on. It happens to be this taxi. So the third import garage is pretty straightforward. There are 16 vehicles on there, just like the first garage we did in Portland. Not the emergency vehicle garage, but the first garage we did. And dropping off a vehicle gives you $1,000. Here I'm just showing off an armor location because my armor was 34. So this is right by like a very major intersection in Pike Creek, which is the name of this part of the island. So there we go, full health, full armor, nothing can stop us now. So from that major intersection, which we're coming up to right here, you're just gonna continue north and follow the road just a tiny bit, and then the import-export garage is on your left. And so we're gonna show you that it's got the list printed there, 16 vehicles, 15 of which are quite straightforward. The last one, not straightforward. But anyway, we're going to do what we can with the 15. So we hop in the taxi, bring it right in, and then hop out. The taxi is kind of a boring vehicle for me. I guess it looks okay. Honestly, I like this taxi more than the cabbie, which is another kind of yellow vehicle that takes passengers around. So we'll give this taxi a 5, and the cabbie will suffer a little bit with a 4. Okay, so here's a stallion. It looks like it's got a giant T on the hood. And we just pick it up in the wild and drop it off. The stallion is very slow, doesn't handle well. I happen to be a fan of Tesla, the company. This guy right here is not a fan of me, and I think I'm like stuck in place trying to punch him, getting totally wrecked. So here I'm trying to take out my gun. If you just shoot anybody once, they leave you alone. But somehow I switched. I don't think I did that on purpose, but lighting the guy on fire seems excessive. Okay, so that's a what you call Landstalker. This is the Karuma. Lots of vehicles that belong in this garage. So what was the one that we just missed? The Stallion. Yeah. So I like Teslas, and it's got a T, which reminds me of the Tesla. So we'll give the Stallion a 6, but really it deserves like a 4. Okay, the Karuma is an okay vehicle. It's the first vehicle you get in the game, so we'll give it a bonus point for that. I guess we'll give the Karuma a 6. The police car is not one of the vehicles we need, but I'm going to take this police car and drive it down to the airport right now. So we'll just fast forward through this trip. Like I said, the rewards for completing this one are the same as the first Portland garage, $1,000 for each car, and if you get all 16 done, then you get a $200,000 bonus, plus each of those vehicles will spawn anytime you want them. This is a Landstalker. It's required, but not unlocked. I'm just showing you on the left is a Blista, on the right here is a Stallion. I'm showing you that many of the vehicles you need are right here in this parking lot all the time. And so in the beginning, as you're learning what the vehicles look like, it can be kind of frustrating to do these import-export tasks. So knowing that all of these fixed things are pretty close is a comfort, I would say. So here's the Manana. That's another required one. Next up is an Esperanto, also required. I don't think I graded the Kuruma. So the Kuruma, wait, I think I did grade the Kuruma, and I'm afraid if I grade it now, I'll give it a different grade. So let's pretend I graded the Kuruma. So there's a taxi. It's required, but we already dropped it off. No vans are required for this third import-export, but that's a Rumpo, which we already taken one of those to the first garage. This is an Infernus. It's got the spoiler on the back. That's how I recognize that one. That one's required, and then this is the Sentinel. Uh, I have seen like all of these cars spawn on Shoreside Vale. The Sentinel is like the rarest of all the parking lot, airport parking lot cars in my experience. So I typically grab the Sentinel and then nothing really else from that parking lot. Okay, so here I see this Banshee and I'm right by the garage, so I get kind of greedy. Um, and I say, hey, what if I just hop in the Banshee? What I should have done is just hopped in the Banshee and then driven it directly into the garage. I don't think that my Sentinel right there would have despawned, but I got scared that it might despawn, so I was hoping to leave the open Banshee there and then take my Sentinel in first and then retrieve the Banshee. But the owner, totally the wrong garage. But the owner of the Banshee had other ideas. Okay, the Sentinel is a nice looking car. So we'll give that one a 9. I like that. It's kind of sporty looking, but it's not a sports car. Um, I think this is another Stallion, but we don't need a Stallion, so we're just gonna drive around, show you some more fixed vehicles. So I just like the curves of the Sentinel. I think it handles well. It's got a good speed. And reminds me of the Mafia over in St. Mark's, and we're going to be on good terms with the Mafia for a while here in this game. Okay, so if we head down this curvy road, there is going to be a little parking lot on our right-hand side, and that parking lot is going to have, I think, 2 vehicles that are required for the import-export garage we're working on. And I wouldn't typically come down here because these vehicles are both quite common. Anyway, here's what is this thing? Is that a Stallion? Yeah, plenty of Stallions. So this Stallion is also in the airport parking lot. And then we're going to take this vehicle right here, one of the many sports cars. I don't know why Claude doesn't hop in like when there's no roof. So we'll take the Banshee. It's required. And I really don't mind the import-export, this particular import-export garage. Like I mentioned in a previous video, I'll give import-export like an 8 out of 10. It's fine. I don't mind it here. But in Vice City, whew, not fun for me because I'm just not good at it. I don't recognize the cars. I don't know which areas I should be going in for the cars I'm looking for. So some of these cars spawn in fixed locations in front of these mansions here. So here is a Cheetah. So if you're having trouble finding a Cheetah, you just come right here to this mansion and it will always be there. And then I think we're going to head in each of the driveways here. Oh, that's just the walkway to the same house that the Cheetah was in. So let's go up here. And here's a Landstalker, also required for the garage, but quite common in the wild. So not going to take it here. And I think there's one more, maybe one more vehicle in a driveway on the right-hand side. Yeah, so this is me looking to the right because I haven't done this part of the game in a while. Okay, so there's the Stinger, and I'll just hop in my Banshee, and I think we'll take the Banshee all the way back to the import-export place right now. I was being careful there not to run over the officer. I am a law-abiding citizen. I'm also kind of looking for a stretch limo as I drive up and down this main road because that one's one of the rarer ones I find for this particular garage. Not super rare, but if I see it, I typically grab it. Okay, sports cars are pretty darn cool. This one's got an awesome stripe going down the middle. It handles well. It's got high speed. It's got high health. That's a 10. For sure, it's a 10 all day. Okay, so moving right along, making good progress on this import-export list, but standing in place for some reason. I don't know what Claude is doing there, or I guess what I was doing. So oftentimes I'll kind of flick the camera around to get traffic to respawn on this particular road just because the common cars appear here so often. So we'll get in this one. This must be in Idaho. So this car handles terribly. I don't think it's really much to look at, but it is a state, so we got to give it a bonus point for being named after a state. So we'll give that one a 4 up from a 5. So here I'm desperately trying to catch this landstalker. I find that the cars don't follow the traffic lights at this particular intersection. I don't know if it was just like programmed incorrectly or what, but they don't seem to understand red means stop. Okay, the Landstalker doesn't handle very well. It's kind of easy to roll. I guess it looks okay for what it is, but nothing special. I'll give that one a 5. All right, so this is a Manana, also available in the airport parking lot. Compact looking little car, doesn't have a great top speed. I guess it's okay. We'll give that one a 6. Manana in Spanish means tomorrow. Hasta mañana. See you tomorrow. See, this is an educational channel, kids. All right, so here I get back in another Idaho because I sometimes confuse the Idahos and the Esperantos, and I've already done an Idaho, but I haven't found an Esperanto yet. But it's silly because the Esperanto has like a little, what's it called? The thing on the hood, a hood ornament, and the Idaho does not. Okay, so here's the cabbie, the other yellow passenger vehicle, yellow car. If you're a fan of GTA 4. So this one is more rounded. That's how you can tell the difference between the taxi, which has kind of straighter edges. Here's a taxi we're passing right here, and the cabbie is more rounded. I think the cabbie handles worse. I honestly like the look of the straight edge one better. I don't remember what grade I gave the taxi, but this one should be 1 less. So there's some homework for you. Subtract 1 from the taxi grade, and that's equal to the cabbie grade. Okay, so this is the Bobcat. We need it over on the first import-export list that we did, but we don't need it here. I think I'm just going to drive it somewhere as I continue looking for vehicles we don't have yet. I mentioned in a previous video that I made a shared Google sheet with all of the import-export vehicles. This is a perennial, the station wagon looking thing here. So the vehicles on that sheet include this list, and so if you are old like me, you print out the sheet on an actual piece of paper made from wood, and you check off these vehicles one at a time as you put them into the garage. I know you could just look at this list, and see what's crossed off whenever you want, but like if you're out in the wild looking around for cars and you're not standing next to this building, then you can't see the list. So I typically just mark things with a piece of paper and a pencil. So the perennial is not great. It's slow. It doesn't look great. I mean, I guess it's good if you've got a big family. But other than that, it gets a solid 4. Okay, so kind of foggy. I'm not sure where we're headed. We've already gotten the Landstalker before, so I'm just looking for other vehicles. In particular, like I said, the stretch. I typically come on this road and look for stretch limo. And we found one. A couple of different colors for the stretch. I think I like the white one better than the black one. I guess the black is a more traditional limo color, but this white feels like fancier. I don't know. I don't think I've ever actually been inside of a limousine, so what do I know? Okay, so the limo doesn't handle well. It's got a low top speed, but it looks pretty darn cool, right? It shows everybody how much of a boss we are. So I'm going to give the limo a 9 out of 10. It's a nice looking car. And we will drive a limo, a specific limo, in one of the early missions in Portland. We got to take Maria to a drug deal and then a party, and spoilers, things are going to go horribly wrong. Okay, so I guess that was me just looking at the list of cars remaining. As I'm making this audio commentary, I'm watching like a little 2-inch by 2-inch version of my video. It's just like a preview type screen, so I couldn't even read what was on the list. So I don't know what's left, but presumably I'm going to find it, whatever's left. Okay, so, I guess I was heading to the mansion for one of these things one of these sports cars that I hadn't found yet in the wild. But these sports cars are all quite common, but the mansions aren't too far away. So Stinger getting driven back. The Stinger is another really nice sports car. Guess I don't think it looks quite as good as the Banshee, but I think it looks really good. So we'll give the Stinger another 10. I dig the sports cars. All right, so did I just see something that I liked? I guess I did. I guess I preferred the Cheetah to the Stinger. So one thing I did when I left the Stinger there is I left the door open. in the hopes that the stinger would not despawn. So I'm going to run right back there and not get any other cars, but just on foot. And there you go, stinger is still there. Okay, so the cheetah, awesome looking sports car. We're giving that one a 10, and I think I've already given this stinger a 10. So 10s all around for these sports cars. Although the Infernus, yeah, so that was me getting confused again by an Idaho when thinking it's an Esperanto. So the Infernus is not going to get a 10 again. I don't think we've gotten an Infernus yet. But the thing I don't like about the Infernus is it has low health and it catches on fire very easily. So it is appropriately named Infernus. Okay, so continuing right along. Like I mentioned, if you get all 16 of these vehicles imported, exported, then they will all spawn in there at any time you want for free, as many as you want. So there's an Infernus there that just turned onto this road. Again, looking for that spoiler in the back. And so it's nice to have access, convenient access to all these sports cars. You can pick up any of them at any time from this garage, but only once the garage is complete. So we're going to have like 15. The 15 easy ones are going to be done, but we don't get that nice free car reward. Here's a little shortcut going the back way. We don't get the nice free car reward until you get all 16 done. Okay, so there's the cheetah safely in place. Good top speed, good handling. It looks nice, but catches on fire way too easily. That's an 8, that cheetah. Okay, so I think the Esperanto might be the only thing that I'm still looking to get. Instead of driving to the airport parking lot like on the roads, I decided to show that you can hop into the airport parking lot if you come down here and just get out near the top of this ridge in the grass and then just big jump, take a little bit of damage, and the Esperanto is at the far back left here from this perspective. Esperantos typically show up, quite commonly in the wild, but I guess I was just having trouble finding the one here. So decided to cut my losses and grab the one that was fixed. I do like the car. This kind of reminds me of the teal Karuma, that unique color that we normally wouldn't see on the Karuma. I guess this color is a little bit lighter kind of green than the greenish blue or teal that we got before, but it's not so bad looking. But that's like the only good thing about the Esperanto. Handles badly, easy to roll, slow top speed. So let's give the Esperanto a 3. I also I think I mentioned in a previous video that I really dislike the import-export task in Vice City, and the Esperanto is one of the cars that I dread trying to find in Vice City's import-export list. I just have an awful hard time finding it. It takes a long, long time typically for me to get a lousy Esperanto. So you know what? A 1. Screw you, Esperanto. You get a 1. Okay, so is that everything? Is that 15 out of 16? Let's take a look at this list here. Yeah, so that's 15 out of 16. So the only one missing is on the right-hand side there. It's the BF injection. So as far as I know, it is not possible to get a BF injection at this point in the game. I'm just going to save here. According to the wiki, it says that you can get the BF injection in a fixed location after you complete the mission Sayonara Salvatore. And so that's it. We're 15 out of 16. It's the best we can do. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you real soon.